Well, my guest for the morning, Samuel Ayepe, is Member of Parliament for Ayen Swano, a member of the MPP, and a member of the NDC is also here. We have former Member of Parliament for Infantiman East, George Kuntublankson. And thanks for joining me, sir. And George, I know the current constituency is named Ekumfi.
Yes, of course.
Okay, Ekumfi. All right. Thanks for joining me. You have open nominations.
Yes, I have. I've gone to pick my form.
Oh, you have?
I'm processing it by next week. I'll file.
What does it take to do the processing?
Well, you first ought to pay the 1,000 Ghana cedis to pick the form, and then you process. I'll be showing your identity as a voter in the constituency and a party member in the constituency, and somebody who has fully participates in the party activities in the constituency. And then you send it, the constituency executives will do endorsements, and if in the comment they will write indicating.
This one is not like the presidential election where you need a number of people to.
Yes, you will still need. Under Form 10, you must get members of any member of the party in good standing in the constituency. 10 of them should endorse your form, and then the endorsement from the constituency secretary and also the constituency chairman. Then to the region, the region will also do endorsement, and then in the comments they state there before it is finally sent to the national for final filing.
That aspect about you being a voter in the constituency, what does it mean? You should have voted or be a registered voter?
Registered voter.
Good.
A registered voter.
Because I could be a registered voter in.
Yeah, you should be a registered voter in the constituency for not less than 2 years. Yes,
not less than 2 years.
Not less than 2 years.
So if it's less than 2 years,
you are not qualified to.
You don't need a waiver from the party's committee.
The party can do that. Looking at the constitution, yes. For instance, if in Ayensiano or any other constituency we don't get a candidate that we think can win the vote for us, the national can decide that this man is voting in Accra, but for 8, 2, 3 reasons we want him to go and contest.
That's the only time. That's the only time when the waiver is given.
Yes, yes. Then they will transfer the person's vote to the constituency in which is going to contest. You must do that with electoral commission. Other than that, when it gets into the voting, the electoral commission also have a clause in there that if you are not a registered voter in the constituency,
what about this? I'm a registered voter in the constituency, but it's not up to 2 years. So
2 years. You cannot. Yes, yes. And apart from that, see, people are confused with being a registered. That is not enough, because the constituency executives, the chairman, the secretary, and other executives ought to endorse and give their comments. So if the constituency executive says that, in 2012, for instance, there's a gentleman who is coming to contest in my constituency. He's an assembly member at one of the electoral areas in the constituency. Even in 2012 elections, when we had our mini rally in electoral area where he is or was the assembly member, he did not attend. He never attended any of our programs. We had a polling station election, he wasn't present.
Now you're running him down.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, no, it's a fact that I'm stating. The people there know, so I'm not going to tell them. We have not met him in any of our programs. If you are outside the country,
personalities
very good. If outside the country,
because I'm asking you this because we have a number of personalities now who I know we know that the time is also right.
That is what we have to be very careful as a party, because if you do that, then at the end of the day, you are not going to get people who will be committed to work for the party in the constituency. For instance, if today I'm not a member of parliament, there are a lot of people who have worked, not in terms of finance alone, but they've gone bush there to work for the party. They have their BScs, they have their masters, they've worked with the party. Then all of a sudden, somebody comes from nowhere to come and contest.
From the way you are telling me, there could be some disagreement or some animosity if you have personalities who all of a sudden, out of the blue, spring up.
That is exactly what the NEC.
Because we're hearing names.
Yes.
We don't associate them with certain
you see, the NEC that we put in our constitution, unless you come out clearly, that who can contest.
Where's your knife? Do you have your weapon? Because you seem to be ready to fight.
I don't. We fight. Yes, we fight in elections. We don't fight with knife. We fight with the tongue.
You were a former minority chief whip.
Of course.
Or deputy
chief whip.
Okay, and I know I've interviewed you several times. Is that the same thing that happens in your party as well? Are you giving certain leverages? Do you?
Oh no, you see, there's always a fair play.
Okay.
People are allowing to, file their nomination, but depending upon your loyalty and commitment to the party.
Exactly.
And service that you've rendered to the party.
Exactly. It's a key.
See, you can't just come out of the blue and say, I'm going to stand in the middle. It will be like what I'm reading in the papers about somebody is saying that because he was lobbying for appointment. I was reading Al-Hajj.
Oh, okay, okay.
You see, I mean, once such a thing happens, then the person is not committed to the party. He came in for his goodies. If he refused to get it, then it's thereof. Then he gets away.
That's a paper speculation.
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
But do you think that because of all these concerns that you astute politicians have raised, and you feel your party people, you serve the party, and so the party needs to go through legitimate means before all these elections are made? Do you think that that also is good enough? Because is that not discriminatory for the people who spring up and say we're interested and would want to also to help the party govern?
My brother, let me tell you one thing. When you think about political organization, for that matter, a party, it's like an, what do you call it, a business enterprise.
Really?
I'm telling you.
The party is a business enterprise.
I'm telling you.
You don't mean by its objectives, but
yes,
by the way that's set up.
That is it.
Okay.
In the philosophical terms,
okay,
it's like a business entity. Because nobody can walk outside to come and say he owns a shares in this industry.
I get your point.
Whereas, no, he never played any role, or he has not a share in it, he has not contributed any effort. You can't claim that. It's the same like every system in the what do you call it, the corporate world that we are living in.
Can I?
And also, always there should be a successful plan. The person must grow on the job from one step to another to gain experience. Because inexperience throw the development of a country overboard. I'm telling you, without experience, you cannot come and say you are coming to manage these machines. You have not been somebody who have not been a host of a program that you are hosting now. Can you come and sit in the chair?
We can have somebody who is creative enough and impresses the first time on the job.
Creativity.
And he has a God-given talent.
Let him tell you.
And so we'll do more than I do. It always happens.
Listen, every talent given by God has its limitation.
It needs to be developed.
Yes. God will not, like I will say, babies born on earth can be put in your chair. I mean, let's face things.
My point is, let me give myself as a typical example. When I wanted to contest in Ayusiano, in 1996, I transferred my votes from Ayawaso Central to Ayusiano. And then any time I go to Ayusiano, I attend MPP polling station.
It's not by force that you have to attend all those meetings.
No, but when you go there, that's why I said, anytime I go there, not that anytime they have meetings. Anytime I go to the village and the MPP is meeting, I go there. And then before 2004 elections, there was registration exercise. I visited all the 90 polling stations where the registration is being done to see what was going on and contributed to help the party agents who were helping in the registration exercise. I contested in 2004 elections, parliamentary primaries in Ayusiano, and lost. I came back helping to campaign in 2004 elections, and MPP won. In 2008, I went again and I won. So not that I sat in Accra, and then in 2008, I jumped in contest elections and said I'm a member of the party. You can't do that.
Okay.
Other than that, you are not boosting the morale of people who are campaigning, traveling on motorbike. I have a gentleman in Amanase.
The grassroots people.
Exactly. I had a gentleman in Amanase, one of the communities in my constituency. He has his master's degree. And this guy would sit on motorbike, moving from village to village, telling himself that I'm holding this qualification, I'm working in this industry. There's a need for us to vote for MPP and change this government. Then all of
Let me ask you this. Do you think by virtue of the fact that the person is qualified enough, helps the party, has been riding on, you call it motorbikes, going to the bush, you could say, and so the person is a successor to you, one day you don't want to ride?
I'm not saying one person. I say people who are working to help the party. Maybe that person I'm referring to must have not even shown his interest in contesting. But I'm saying that we should do things that will boost the morale of the people in the party.
The minds of the voters. I know for the MPP, for example, your primaries will be having how many delegates?
We are having, in my constituency, we have 505.
Okay. For example, your constituency, you may have in excess of 700, thereabouts. Yeah. Okay. So it's almost the same number, let's talk about. Yeah. So it means that you can handpick and know who you can reach and etc. So they are reachable. The delegates, what usually, by your experience, tend to dissuade or influence the delegates to vote otherwise? Because you may be on the ground, but sometimes last minute, I've covered primaries of various parties for about 3-4 elections. And I know how sometimes somebody is a poll leader, but at the end of the voting period, he's not the winner.
Yeah, you see, Roland, there are so many factors that voters take into consideration.
The delegates.
For them, they are voters as well.
Sure.
When you talk in terms of election, they are voters as well. Because voters do not pertain to only the general election, but in the sector of every aspect of electoral college, voters, the delegates also are voters, insofar as the party's sector is concerned. You see, there are so many factors that they take into consideration, as I'm telling you. You know, at times too, their decision can be swayed by certain authorities whom maybe for 1 or 2 reasons they don't like the candidate that is going to put there. You can convince them, deceive them with some falsehood, which at times it happens in all the device of the politics. You understand? And at the end of the day, when they get there, those people that they manage for them to emerge, when they get there, they win good parliament, and they are not seeing all those falsehoods that they told them at the ground that vote for this man will do this or that, then it becomes a problem in the constituency. Then that song of old Adise, Mayre die Samba Warmi.
Okay, so how does that breed animosity? Supposing somebody is elected, so much is expected of the person, or somebody is elected, the person was not known, but somehow gets to be elected, and let's say a seat could be a safe seat for a particular party, and so the person gets into parliament. Is there any sort of disconnection because the person just sprang up somewhere?
Well, not that, but as you said, every political party wants to win elections. And so if you put somebody there, and then the person, it's a safe seat, all right, so he's going to get, and you know, parliamentary votes are simple majority. So the person may win and come to parliament, all right, but you may end up losing some chunk presidential votes in that constituency.
Because you have some dissatisfied party members or sympathizers?
Yes, so not all the time that the people that the delegates will go and elect will be the choice of the people. That is why some of the delegates, those who are actually prepared to help the party, I quite remember in the previous elections, one of the delegates told me that he went around Kota, house to house, asking people what they think about the candidate that they were going to vote for, were to them. And then he was holding a piece of paper, taking sample, and most of the people said he should vote for me, so definitely he's going to vote for me. Others will not do that. And in some of the constituencies, like my constituency, we have the kingmakers, when you see that you have won, but when they get that, then consultation starts. You can see some people who may have a strong opinion, will try to share.
Now let's try to wrap up on this very discussion. Mr. Kuntu, so what role do the chairman and the other leading officers or leadership of the party in a constituency play? Supposing somebody is coming up, the person may be known, but may not be directly connected to the constituency as far as the party organizational structure and roots is concerned.
You know, at times...
Because you may be working, but your leadership, your kingmaker, he's a kingmaker, so maybe they like the one coming.
Yeah, at times in the managing of affairs of the party, for that matter, you take it in the philosophical base, you could see that party is managed by a team. The chairman, secretary, organizer, woman organizer, and those people that form the direction of the party. But at times, when it happens in this direction where there's no unity among the setup, everybody has his preferred choice. You understand? So when there's any influence from outside comes in, then maybe it doesn't play to the role of the chairman, then there's another confusion there. You understand? But if there's unity and cohesion among the direction of the party, then when they decide that we at the ground, this is the preferred one that we think it can make the mark and at the same time deliver, then that is sealed. If it does not happen, forget
but this fact we must also not forget, and that has been my key in all primaries that I've attended. I've contested. The most important thing is to have your base strong and support you. I've never had support from the national executives and the regional executives in any of my primaries. I quite remember in 2018.
You've never had the support of the top leadership.
The top leadership.
But you always have the support of the rank.
And yeah, for instance, if you go to my constituency, I have 505 delegates who votes. The regional executives, they don't vote in my constituency. The national executives, they don't vote in my constituency. So when you do your work well and you are accepted by the base, No matter what. I can't remember in the last.
But let me say something. No matter what you remember, let me say this. You have 500 and something delegates.
Exactly.
You have thousands, several thousands of supporters down there. They like you. But the 570 delegates may not vote for you. How do they translate the support, the voices of the masses down there?
There's this fact we must also not forget, that if you take a sample of 505, if indeed
they are representation of the masses.
Okay. Indeed, if the masses have it have effects or reflection on what
they will know that as they are representing them, go and do our way.
Others don't do that. Others will look at others will look at influence from the top, looking at certain packages that change and all that. But others also, irrespective of whatever package that goes, whatever
they will do the right
have the top, they will look at what the people, because they are going to campaign for, and that is the right thing. You are going to campaign for the person in the community. So if the community people says no, we don't want this man, you just
no matter.
I love the way you hit the chair. It means that you're really up for the battle. But the last question: at what point do you say, well, I just want to be in Parliament for 3 terms? Because sometimes when people see too much of you, they become kind of saturated.
It depends on your performance. We say Parliament is like the law profession.
Performance, what do you mean? For example, the role of the parliamentarian is to be in Parliament.
Exactly.
And supposed to be legislating or helping formulate laws.
Exactly.
But you're supposed to be
that is what
so what performance are you talking about? Building schools, or helping, lobbying for roads to be built?
No, your performance in Parliament is a key. Your performance to the contribution of the development in the community is also a key. For instance, when I came to Parliament, and then we brought in this rural electrification project bill or loan in Parliament for approval. As soon as the loan was approved, I found my way in the ministry lobbying and making sure that my constitution, because the Eastern region had been selected. And at the end of the day, I have about 26 communities in my communities connected to the national grid.
How long do you think you need to go?
Definitely is going to boost my support and all that. So you don't say that because we are in Parliament making laws, we only sit in Parliament. That is exactly your core mandate. But if you don't go to see for the development of the people in the communities, can also affect you anyway.
Roland,
do I go for 3 terms, 2 terms?
So far as you are useful.
So far as you are useful.
Yes.
So far as your people deem that you are useful.
Exactly so.
All right.
Exactly.
They can even do a recall.
That is why I always say.
All right, we're closing this matter because.
Yes,